Hello and welcome back to our video series on vascular strict dieback in ornamentals. Today we're going to hear from Stacey Jones, who is the NC State Area Specialized Agent for Commercial Ornamental Greenhouse and Nursery Crops in Central North Carolina. Stacey, thank you so much for being here. Could you please tell us about your role and how you assist growers?
Sure. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for making this video series. It's going to be really helpful for our growers here in North Carolina. So my job is specifically to help greenhouse and nursery growers of ornamental crops. So whether you're dealing with a disease issue like vascular streak dieback, insect issue, nutritional, or you just have a general question about the greenhouse or nursery industry. How do we dispose of this? Who do I talk to get a license? Any of these types of questions, I'm here to help. And I especially love working with new and upcoming greenhouse and nursery growers. That's a big part of what I do because we want to continue to grow our industry here in North Carolina.
That sounds great. So what is the situation with VSD in your area? How are growers impacted by it?
Well, since it's still not been 100% figured out, what actually is vascular streak dieback, it has been hard for the growers because, they're not really quite sure what it is or how to take care of it. And I think that's why these videos are going to be really helpful, because even though we don't have the specific name yet of what this is, we have been able to figure out some ways to help the growers reduce or even prevent the issue. So I know that some growers are buying smaller amounts of certain types of plants because they want to try to quarantine as things come in, and then keep things quarantined in the nursery, so they're not buying in as many plants as they used to be. So that is probably one of the biggest things that we're seeing, is that the amount of shrubs and trees that can get vascular streak dieback, the sales of them are sort of starting to be affected. But hopefully with information like what we're sharing today and the other videos that you've done, we can sort of help growers to get those sales numbers back up.
I understand that. I hope this helps. So what should growers do if they suspect that they have the disease in their nursery? What would you suggest?
Well, the first thing they can do is give me a call. And at the end of this, I have a slide that has my contact information. So I specifically work in the central region, but we have someone in the eastern region, Danny Lauderdale, and then we have someone in the western region, Sam Marshall, and they can also help you if you suspect that you have this issue. Or what you can do is you can take a sample and send it into the plant disease and insect clinic yourself. And I've made a short slideshow to sort of help people figure out how to do that. So I'll go ahead and I'll share it now.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Let me try that again. I didn't have it open. Here we go. Okay, great.
I can see it.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, so for liners or trees and shrubs that are a gallon or smaller, you can send in several of these whole plants. What you'd want to do is take a plastic bag, like a trash bag or a grocery bag, and wrap it around the base of the tree so that the soil stays where it's supposed to be and it doesn't get all over the leaves of the tree or the shrub. But if you're growing something larger than a liner or something larger than a gallon, the suggestions for sending in samples are a little bit different. If you have a tree that's got a small diameter, you can cut the stem at whichever is the lowest, either the transitional zone where the healthy looking foliage and the non-healthy, wood come together, or when the diameter reaches 1/2 of an inch. So here, this picture, this is of a very healthy redbud tree, but you can see here that this is a tree with a little smaller diameter. Whereas this one has a little bit larger diameter. So the rules on this one are a little bit different. You'll want to cut this into 2 sections. One's going to be right below the graft union, and then the other one's going to be about halfway up the trunk. And you'll send that in with some soil and some roots. So I have a little example of one that I did here. You can see in the middle, right here where my pointer is, that there's a large area where there's no foliage at all. So I'm going to call this area the transition zone. So right before these yellow leaves, that's where I'm going to take my initial cut to send in the sample. And then what I do is also take a second cut right below, so that you have some easily portable pieces of the trunk, and then sort of cut off all of the side branches, and then all of those pieces of the trunk, you just put them together, and you put them in a plastic bag to send off to the plant disease and insect clinic. And I'll show you a picture of that in a little while. And then when it comes to the roots, what we need to do is we need to take several short sections of some larger diameter roots. And we also want to get some fistfuls of feeder roots because they want to weed out other issues like Phytophthora or things like that. And you want to make sure you keep the roots in soil, because that'll keep them nice and moist and healthy till they get to the lab. So here's an example of basically what I did was I went out to that, pot. I turned it upside down, and I just started ripping out the feeder roots and the soil that surrounded it. I shoved it in a plastic bag and, put some more soil on top of it so that those roots would stay nice and moist. And if I remember correctly, it says about 1 quart of soil and root material. So I just use a quart Ziploc bag to make it easy for me to know that I was having enough. And then you make sure you label both the plant and the soil with the name of the plant. And you go to the NCDA, sorry, not the NCDA, the Plant Disease and Insect Clinic website, and you use their form to, enter the sample. And then you want to include that form with both the branches and trunk and stem, along with the roots. And how you do that is you just go to their website, which you can see right here. And if you just Google Plant Disease and Insect Clinic, North Carolina, it'll come up automatically. And they have all kinds of great information here about how to take a sample, how to submit a sample. So if you haven't used this yet, you can call me. I can show you how to use it, or you can use the information that they have here on their website. And then once you log in, it'll look like this here at the bottom, and you'll just hit the new button for your new sample. And then that form will come up that you'll fill in so that they can have all the information that they need to do the sample. And then it usually doesn't take that long, week or so, and the results get sent back to you via email. And if you wanted your area specialized agent to be included in that email to help you, look at the results and decide what you need to do, you'll want to add us there as as what's called a consultant or as the agent, and we would be really happy to get that email as well as you getting it, so that we can take a look at it and help you make decisions on the next best steps for your operation. And with that, that's basically a quick and easy description of how to send off a sample for vascular streak dieback. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to help. This is my contact information. And at the bottom, I have a little website there with some other information for greenhouse and nursery growers. And I'm always happy to help. So please never hesitate to contact me.
Oh, Stacey, thank you so much for sharing all this amazing information. It was very helpful and it was a pleasure to have you here. So thank you, and thank you whoever is watching the video too.
Thank you so much. I really appreciated being here today and being able to share this information. I hope you have a great rest of the day.
You too, thank you.